Decoding futures for BankNifty. Sorry, I am a bit late. I'm having some technical difficulties. Plus, I'm having fever and cold, so I'm just taking things light. Okay, so let me just quickly go through what's happening currently. Okay, so overall we opened flat. Inventory overall inventory is flat, and currently we are. What I'm seeing is the supply came in at 44,400, and we are entering. So this is a spot chart, and this is the futures chart. And futures chart is where I am seeing yesterday where there was a demand zone or an area where a lot of buy positions were created. Okay, so currently the time is 9:15. We have just been like 46 seconds, but currently what I'm seeing is that 44,000 is where there is a seller. Now the next area which I'm observing is 44,350, and there are stops built around 44,300. Okay, so I'm expecting this level to hold. There is some front running happening. The reason why I'm sharing this level to hold is below that is where a lot of buyers are present. Okay, so as the price is moving lower, this is where I'm expecting some choppiness to be seen. And this is also where previously on the futures chart we had trapped sellers. Okay, so this is where the auction is going to chop off, and we might reverse, or have some sort of mean reversion trades. Okay, so let me just quickly hit refresh to this chart so that I can get the timestamp. So this is that time counter. I'll just zoom in. Okay, but if you see this right, 28, this is the one which I'm looking at. But overall inventory is short. Correction of inventory is ongoing. We have taken out a couple of stops, and there was a trade at the open which I have completely missed executing it, and that trade is on the short side. And the reason why it was on the short side is basically this was the M period print. This is the M period, and at the close is where what we have is we have got trapped buyers. Okay, so this is the resistance zone 44,500, again a psychological round number. So what has happened is this is where the auction opened around 44,475. It looked above and failed, and now it is trying to search for buyers. So the tempo, if you see here, the gaps is giving me a hint that price or the market or the auction is looking for buyers. It is in the hunt for buyers. Okay, so whenever it will find buyers, that's where I'll be looking for some price stability and some buyer retention. But for the moment, let the auction chop, because overall where we are entering is we have entered into the previous value where a lot of supply is trapped. Now I'm looking for, do we get accept below the value area, so, or do we accept, basically is there any acceptance in this value? That's what I'm looking at currently. I'm seeing we are just chopping around the value area high of this particular auction. So this is going to trap some folks. Currently I'm not seeing any trades for the moment right at the open. And if you see here, right, I'm seeing some price stability at 44,300, and also this is the zone where we had trapped sellers, where some responsive buying was what I was looking for. Now overhead, we have got some supply, so I'm expecting some flush or auction to spend some time in this 50-point range. Okay, currently I am seeing there is overhead supply. Also on the delta, on the footprint chart, basically there are also unfinished auctions in form of gaps. So let's see when do they get repaired. Currently at the low is where there are trapped sellers. Overhead there is supply, so this particular zone is the supply zone or the resistance zone. I'm looking for continuation lower, and I'm looking for price to at least tag the 44,360, because so let it drop. Don't take any trades. Currently supply is shutting off at this particular zone, this particular level. So this is the range where we are just chopping, and previous days low is the area where supply or sellers are coming in. So this is where the sellers are coming in. I would suggest do not take any trade, just observe. because it is going to chop in this range. So what I'm seeing is whenever at a particular level, whenever there is a chop, there is some acceptance around this level. So let's just give it some more time. Now what I'm seeing on the spot is more buyers have accumulated their positions at 44,300. So does this particular level hold? Because this is a HVN. Similarly on the futures chart is where I'm seeing sellers are trapped at 44,394. So do we see acceptance, or do we see rejection, and do we see continuation? So that's the behavior, of what what behavior I'm observing. Okay, so if it falls, let it fall. The reason why I created this is this indicators is I was making really stupid mistakes. I would say not stupid mistakes, but I was too biased, and I was not able to understand the market generated information. So you saw this, right? This is where the reversal has happened, and now some short covering will be coming in. So people are again coming at previous days low. Again, some balancing activity is seen, but overall I'm seeing 3, 4, 5, 6. So 7, 8, 9. So around 900 sellers, they are trapped in this particular zone. So this is gonna this level. What I'm looking for is does this level holds or not? Yeah. So now there is some acceptance in the previous day's low. Let me also look at the smaller time frame chart. Okay, so this is a 1 minute chart, where currently what I'm seeing is this is an area where the price is getting accepted. This is also the zone where a lot of supply is trapped. Okay, so currently now the areas where I'm observing is does seller come at 429 and 403. Okay, so this is the overall range where I'm observing the auction, and a mean reversion trade towards VWAP has already happened. We are just chopping. We are going to chop in this particular range, but there is this area. So this particular area, so basically this is a market profile chart, and this is a order flow chart. I have combined both of them to basically decode the markets better, understand the markets better. This is not a buy or sell type of an indicator, but basically it helps me to gauge where can I see range bound, where can I see market participation, because that's where I'll be interested to enter and exit. Okay, so currently there is a seller coming in at VWAP, so I'm waiting for this particular range to be break. If it breaks VWAP, this is the zone, this particular area. So I'm expecting the price to reach the 378 level or not. Currently there is supply shutting off at 403, so I'm looking for price to go towards 429. Okay, so still we are just chopping around the previous day's low, and from a higher time frame, these are the areas where I'm expecting some balancing, and this is also the zone where who is trapped. A lot of sellers are trapped in this zone, right? So that's why those who came within this particular auction, basically this particular balance, so there are a lot of supply which is trapped in this. So they are the ones who are buying, who are entering, and who are exiting. So this order flow data is order book data is what is suggesting me. Okay, so I'm expecting again a chop, not to take any trades for the moment. 369 and 473 is again the areas where I'm looking at, and we also have got a trapped buyer. So there is supply overhead coming in. Plus we have got weekly, monthly, daily. Yeah, so all the three levels are coinciding. So there is acceptance around previous days low. Let's see, do we continue higher? Yeah, we are continuing higher. Now, what is it that I'm looking at is I'm looking for seller at 429. Do we see there? So there is some front running happening. But guess what? We have entered into the previous day's range. So that's a market generated information that sellers who are coming in, they still need to add more fuel to the fire. They need to take the auction lower. Okay, in the meantime, if you have got any comments, please feel free to use the YouTube chat function. Sorry, I'm not feeling well, but currently, okay, so 44,300 level is still holding. There is a trapped seller below 44,400. On the spot, it is 44,300. Okay, so previous day's low is where people are coming in and shorting. So I'm not seeing any trade. I'm just observing the overall auction and see where the buyers are coming in. Where this is 44,403. So there is some buying happening at this level. Let me just maximize this chart so that way it will be more easier to see, to watch. Okay, so it has broken this level. That is a sign. So let's see if we get continuation towards this. The absorption, so the seller's absorption is happening. So we are just chopping around VWAP, yeah, and we are in a balance. Currently we are in a balance, and see now the short covering is happening. So it looked below 44,403 and failed. So there is supply shutting off at this particular level. Now this is a chop zone, guys. Okay, so I'm not saying take a trade. I'm just observing the levels. The auction has just opened. The market has just opened. It has just been like 11 minutes or so. 11 minutes or so, right? So I'm waiting for more data to come in, but overall inventory is definitely short. My areas of interest are this particular zones. Currently we are in this balance, and below this is where I'm seeing a lot of supply is getting trapped. Okay, so again there will be some activity happening at the VWAP. So what we have today is a classic case of rejection from previous day's value, acceptance from previous day's value. Yeah, so this is where there is a seller, this is where there is a buyer. So we are just chopping in this sort of 100-point range. Yeah, here let me just close this. So we have broken the weekly VWAP, we have broken the monthly VWAP, and this is also a zone where there is supply getting trapped. Okay, so this is monthly, weekly. Okay, I'll just close this and let me just look at the options inventory, what is happening here. So I'm seeing call positions getting created here. We are at 44,300 or so. That's where again more call positions are getting created, whereas more put positions are getting created below 44,300 to 44,000 level. Okay, so let it chop. I'm just looking for a chop, but we are currently chopping in this 100-point range. Call are the ones who are trapped in the current auction. Okay, so do we see more supply coming in at previous day's low? Because they need to do a good job now, because below previous day's low is what we have got trapped sellers. Again, we have tagged the 44,403 level. Again, supply is shutting off. So we are just developing in a range. Yeah, so premium erosion will be happening, as today is also the weekly's expiry. So some signs where some buyers will be coming in. Do we get a short covering? Boom. Because this is where I'm expecting a seller, 44,429. Okay, this is a 1-minute chart, guys. We are still getting accepted within previous day's range, previous day's low. So I'm looking for sellers. Come on, sellers. Yep, some short covering is seen now. So this is going to shake out some supply, but I'm looking for auction to reach the 429 level. Let's see whether we get there or not. What's the delta telling? Okay, so more supply is in the system now. Buyers are here. We are just chopping around. Buyers are slowly moving up. Okay, but we are still chopping around the previous day's low. Overall delta is also negative. So I'm not seeing any trade. I'm just observing how the price is developing. Yeah. So I want this to break, because now sellers, they have to, so how many positions they have to clear out, right? This is 5, 9, 9 and 3, 12. So about 1.2k, supply is trapped in this particular below previous day's low. So that is a market generated information. Yeah. And this data, I'm combining it with trap sellers, combining it with, again, trap sellers on the futures chart, combining it with the data from the order flow. Yeah. So multiple confirmation in terms of, what am I seeing now? I just have to find a trade location. How to find a trade location is, you can use a 1 minute chart or a 3 minute chart, whatever chart you prefer to. I prefer 1 minute chart because it gives me clarity in terms of the order flow which is coming in. So currently I am seeing area where, supply is shutting off here, and I'm expecting supply to be coming in here. So more sellers are coming in. So we are still chopping around VWAP. So if I wanted to take a trade, right, I'll be putting my buy limit order here, my SL here, and my target here. Yeah. So that's how generally I trade. And if it breaks VWAP, then I just put around the candle low, and this is the target. Yeah. So today is the day wherein, you can just scalp. Yeah. So currently what my trade plan is, I want the supply to go, basically the price to go to this level around 429 level, and see, do I see a seller or not? Okay. But in the current auction, the sellers are trapped. So that was a long trade. Now you can ask me, what about a short trade? I want to buy a put. So if you want to buy a put, what I suggest is wait for this level to be broken, 43 or 44,403. I want to have a good break, and at a retracement, that's where you can look for a short trade, because where will you put your SL? That's very important. So if you enter here, your SL should be VWAP, correct? So I want to have a clean break, and at a retracement is where, or you can look at VWAP. So if it retraces towards VWAP, that's where, I will be looking to take a short trade. Okay. There will be rotational movement, because this is an area where a lot of sellers are trapped, and we are around the previous day's low. Okay. So a typical rotational day, rotational expiry is happening right at the open. The time is 9:33 or 9:34. Yeah, it's been 19 minutes, and I'm not seeing any trade now. I want this chop to happen, and I want to have a clean breakout. If I don't get a clean breakout, it is going to trap people here. And for me, this is the zone where, 390 or 380, this is the 10-point zone where I'm expecting again to add my call positions for a mean reversion trade towards VWAP. Okay. So if you see, we are getting accepted. We are seeing supply getting accepted. Supply is, absorbed below VWAP. And I'm looking for a seller at this particular level. Okay, let me just go to the footprint chart. Yep, so 44,300 is still holding. We are just in a 20-point range. Here also it is holding 44,400. Again, here also we are in a 20-point range. Okay, so I'm looking for this unfinished auctions to be cleared. This is an anomaly. Let's see whether it gets cleared or not. Okay. But overall, the sellers are trapped. I'm looking for fresh new supply to come in the system. So those who were long yesterday, they are the ones, you know, who put their stop losses below previous day's low. So their stop losses have been hit, and you know, the overall auction is getting accepted within the previous day's low. Okay, and overall, how many sellers are trapped? So 3, 4, 7, 8, 9, 9 and 4, 13, 13 and 4. So about you know, 1.7k you know, sellers are trapped below previous day's low. Okay, so I'm expecting a choppiness, but it is not breaking the previous day's low. And this is okay, so it has reached the 427 level, and you know, I am seeing a seller here. Yeah, so this is where, you know, you could have taken a short trade and then you know, exited. So this is just a quick scalp, but I'm looking for supply at this particular level. So let's see. And if it breaks this level, you know, I'm looking at the tempo, you know, how clean it is to you know, clear this particular auction. Okay, if you have got any questions, yeah, feel free to comment. Feel free to use the live chat function on YouTube. So I'm looking for this gaps to be filled, and see, guess what? There is a supply. There is a seller at 429 level. Okay. Now here is where there is a buyer. This is where seller is. Now the auction is just hold. I'm looking for a break now. Do we get a break out? Nope. So here is a seller, here is a buyer, here is a seller, here is a buyer. So if you see this red and blue line, right, I've enabled the bid ask line. So there is a seller at 429. Yeah. So I'm just using simple charts to explain you order flow. You know, where am I trying to find the supply? Where am I trying to find sellers? Where I'm trying to find buyers? And guess what? So this is also HVN 44,454. So let's see whether we reach that particular zone or not. But overall, we are chopping in this range of 369 to 473. Okay, we are in this balance. Okay, so we have broken the monthly VWAP also. Let's see what happens at the weekly VWAP. Okay, so one anomaly is cleared. So we had one gap. Unfinished auction is cleared. Now there are a lot of unfinished auctions here. I'm waiting for it to get cleared. Okay, so 429 again, I'm observing. And this is also the value area low. Plus below there is what we have got trapped sellers. Yeah, so 353.95 or 354 is again a area of interest. So that's how, you know, I come up with my levels. I'm just using pure data, you know, I'm not doing any statistics or all. I'm just using the simple market profile concepts and trying to decode the auction. Yeah, so now what I'm seeing is I still have got 11 seconds, 10 seconds. Do we get a big red candle? See, we still have a seller at 429. Now there are stops getting built at VWAP. Let's see whether we flush out those stops or not. Currently we are just chopping, you know, there is a supply coming in at 429. Okay, and overall on the spot chart is where I'm seeing a lot of supply you know, present in the system. And on the futures, we are in a range where previously there are buyers. If it moves higher, this is where I'm expecting more supply to be coming in, and after that we have got this particular area where we have got trapped buyers. So this trapped buyers, they have been flushed out you know, in the current system, you know, current auction which is happening. Okay, so this is a new addition. So what I've done is I've created a order flow profile. You know, this is the particular indicator, you know, which I've just created it. So if you're interested to you know, test it out, these are all available for 1 day free trial. do fill up the form in the description below. And yeah, and if you want to connect with me, get a live demo, you can schedule a meeting. There's a link there to connect with me and get on a call. It's free. I'm not charging anything for that. Okay, but overall, seller here, buyer here. I want acceptance below the previous day's low. 44,400, again a psychological number where the supply is shutting off. So we are just in a chop. So it will be a good day for the straddle and the strangle players. Okay, so yep, this level is still holding, and I think there is some couple of events which is happening in US. So yesterday there was some Fed speech. Today there is crude inventory. Yeah, there is again a Fed speech, right? So every week, the Feds are coming out. Yeah, so just be aware of the things which are happening in US. It indirectly affects. It's not direct correlation, but yeah, there is indirect correlation, and it's mainly related to the fund flow and how the USD and other prices are coming in and all that, right? So yes, there is a seller at 429. We have found a supply seen here. Now the trade is, you can take a short here or you can take another short here. Keep your SL here. Your target is this. Yeah, that's one quick short trade, which I'm seeing. Yeah, so this is where you could have entered one lot here, one lot here. There is a buyer here. Okay, so the overall tempo is, if you see, it's slowing down. So I'm on a 1 minute chart, right? It's slowly and steadily, it is going up. So that's another information that market is telling you. What is that? Okay, so it means that there is supply in the system. Whenever we have a very balanced, I would say not a balanced but slow moving market, that's where there is sellers here, buyers here. We are just, the auction is developing in a balance. Okay, so yeah, again I'm seeing sellers at 350. I'm seeing sellers at 450. Yep, so let it chop. Now previously we had good buyers here. Now if you saw, they are getting reduced. So next buyers where they are trapped is 44,560, and sellers which are trapped is at 44,300. Yeah, so overall this is the range which I'm seeing in the futures chart. Okay, so I hope you learned something new. I have not taken any trades today. The reason is I'm not feeling well. I'm not in the normal flow state, so I'll be observing the order flow. There was one trade which I have completely missed, so that's perfectly fine, and I'll be seeing if I get any opportunity. If not, I'm happy to take a break. Yeah. Okay, so thank you once again. Do like, share, subscribe, and do let me know if you have any questions, and feel free to comment in the section, in the comment section below, and also check the YouTube description, if you want to get 1 day free trial, or if you want to connect with me directly. Yeah. So thank you once again. Take care. Bye for now. Have a safe weekly expiry, and I'll see you again tomorrow.